Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the History of Fan Anime. I'm your host, William Chow, and today another exciting episode you've been waiting for. We're going to continue on with the 1980s Top 30 Showdown, okay? And this episode, we're going to continue with more of the analysis and the making of this comprehensive Top 30 list for the 1980s, okay? So, before I begin, I want to remind everyone to go down below, click like and subscribe, because it's going to take a few more episodes to go through all the titles there, and it's going to get pretty intense as the graph has shown in the past that there's more OAVs movies now because that's near the end of the 80s, so it's going to get really challenging and tough to go through all the different OAVs. So definitely you want to make sure you are following those next episodes that are coming up. All right. So, and also. I've also made available the super thanks option. So if you really enjoy this particular episode or the series I'm doing, by all means you can thank me by hitting that button there and donating something towards the episode. Also, I do also have a subscription service available for the subscribers and the supporters. I have also made a special set of episodes that are designed for those subscribers. So they'll content that I can't put on YouTube here. All this specialty sort of videos and that kind of stuff. Those are all available to subscribers. Okay, so might be something that you want to check out as well. There, links are below. Okay, but in today's episode, we're going to go into more analysis and this building of this top 30 list. Okay. So again, obviously it's going to take several episodes to do. I started basically from the 1980s, and we're going to work forward. And basically, as I work forward, we're going to do comparisons of all the current episodes that are on the year, and we're going to go and basically see where they slot in and if they have a place in the top 30 for the 1980s. Okay? So again, if you want to, I have the links below for the previous episodes, as well as all the episodes which I did to get all the information and all the analysis to build my entire table of all the animes that are significant from the 1980s. Again, links below. You can go and look at the entire grand database of episodes I have available for that. All right, so do check that out. Okay, so without further delay, let's get into some analysis and let's get into this top 30 showdown. All right, so we go back to the our database sheets here. Again, on our left-hand side is the current top 30 countdown, as we left off at the last episode, where we got about half of the OAVs done. We got all the ones that are kind of insignificant and the ones that for maintenance could be combined with other ones. We got those into the list. We got the basically surefire ones into the list. And at the very end of the episode, I got rid of all the will not make the cut episodes from the OAVs for 1987. So, what is left? We got the ones that we gotta actually have to sell and actually try to see if we can slide in. So we'll see if we can go through those in this episode. All right. So again, to remind everyone what the titles we're working on, and that is from the list on the right-hand side. The one list on the right-hand side is the significant TV shows, OVAs, and movies from the various different years that I did the My Anime list. We're currently at 1987, and we're finishing off the OVAs. Okay, so again, from the quick recap, again from the last episode, we already eliminated all the things that don't make the cut. So basically, I'll look down the OAVA list here and then sort of look at the lowest, sort of like the titles at the kind of the bottom of the list, and then can kind of compare them to the titles that we were trying to add in. And based on that, can we find a place to fit some of these guys in? I mean, it's going to be difficult because obviously, it's a comparison type of thing, right? But then, so I'm looking down the list, right, obviously, and I'm seeing things like, the Daikon, OAV, the mini shorts there, like, MD guys. I mean, it was one of the first animes that, got released by Central Park Media and, wasn't particularly very good, kind of controversial, but, that's one of those things that, that probably is near the bottom of the list there. Pink Noise, number 1, Call Me Tonight. You know, because it has a little bit of H content, that was sort of kind of significant. But again, close to the end of the bottom of the list there. I'd say the USS Zero OAVs, because I've already got the USS Zero movies, and I've also got the USS Zero TV series. So that's obviously one of the ones that should go. Fandora just never really got released, but it was a very popular thing because of the girls with swords type of thing. Demon Hunter Rem obviously wasn't really that. Cosmos to Big Shock, even though it was done by the Extra One guy / Cream Lemon guy. Again, very short, sort of really pointless plot in terms of that one. So that's probably got to go. The humanoid, Kizuna 2, even though it is the Crying Freeman guy. So, I mean, these are things that probably are, shall we say, going to be the next ones to go off the list. But then we look at things that, that are going to, going, well, they have to make at least that sort of minimum thing, and do any of these new titles, make it. And going on the list, I'm basically looking at titles that we got eliminated from this list are going to be 2001 Nights, Mina Ageru, Twilight Q, Pants no Anna, Circuit Angel, Hinatori Yamato, and also the Hinatori Uchu, Dead Heat, High School Agent, Majoko Club, The Alien from X, Putinam Love, Scoopers, Take the X Train, and Maho Parasha. Okay, and then we're going to try to see if we add these type of titles onto the list and see where they fit. Now, the ones that are most significant that should probably fit, or try to at least have a thing for to make it fit, would be Body Jack, Hikaru On, which are both parts of the Pink Noise. So it's probably counted as one that I will put those in because Pink Noise number 1's coming off, probably. Crystal Triangle, Toy, Junk Boy, again, which is sort of the kind of an earlier version of Golden Boy. Samurai, which had a commercial release. Steel Demon, the Battle Royale High School, commercial release there. Digital Devil Story, which has a video game made after it. Dragon War Chronicles, Hell Target, Elf 17, Salamander, which has also a video game made after it, and Lily Cat, which had a commercial release. So we'll see how we can try to fit those titles into the setting, because there might be some shuffling that can be done. So this is what this episode is going to be about. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is something a little different that I haven't done in the previous episodes. I'm going to put the titles on the top 30 list that are probably at the bottom of the list. And then I'm going to go through the list of candidates, looking to try to get in from 1987, and see which ones are capable, I think, or gauge whether or not they belong on this list and can be slotted in to replace these titles. Okay, so what titles can we remove off this list? I.e., what is on the bottom of the top 30 list? And I'm going to do Pink Noise number 1, which is Call Me Tonight. I'm going to do the Ursatsu OAVs. Going to do the Daikon 3-4 animations. And I'm going to put Dirty Pair, the Landia Affair. Okay, so we'll start with those 4. Now, what am I going to replace them with? Let's see. I'm going to slot in, for Pink Noise, I'm going to slot in Crystal Triangle. Okay? Now, this is built, particularly on the reason of translation. Now, I don't think Crystal Triangle was all that great. All right? I mean, it's a kind of an Indiana Jones kind of story. But it did get a translation. So it does have a little more push and a little more, dollar value attached to that one. So a little more U.S. interest on that one. Pink Noise was interesting, only because that Pink Noise series, which includes Call Me Tonight, was really kind of, again, one of the ones that like, just they threw in a little bit of H content, so to raise the rating on it, not enough to to make it an adult title, X7, X18 or that kind of thing, but definitely PG-17 kind of that idea. That's what they're trying to shoot for, and so this But again, because of the fact they didn't have any translations, and we didn't do a subtitle for this one, even though that was probably on my list. I was thinking of trying to doing that one, but translation and putting the lasers and that kind of stuff purchased together just never came to it. So definitely, I think that is a replacement. The 80'S OAVs. Now again, because I mentioned I already have 80'S movies 1, 2, and 3 in the movie column, I'll just include the OAVs with that one as well, because they being short and that kind of stuff, they kind of come together anyway. So I'll put the 80'S there. I'll pick another commercial release. I'll pick The Samurai. Okay. Again, I'm not really keen on the animation on it. The story's kind of weak, but again, this is an easy empty slot one. I'm not sure if the Samurai will continue to last, through 88 and 89, but for now, it definitely does more on the list. Next one would be, let's say, the Daikon animations. Again, just the historical reference for Daikon definitely was really important, because I said these are, the disadvantages is the fact that, even though, historically speaking, people, should know about the Daikon opening animations, that kind of stuff. But the problem is that it is, as short as it is, that really doesn't have a story. It's just a kind of a huge music video, essentially. So that's why, although it should, have a recognized point that, that it should be recognized as being in the 80s, but as in terms of a top 30 anime, probably not. So I'll just pick the next sort of snippet title and just kind of slot it in for that one. I will go with Battle Royale High School. Again, another commercial release. Now this one was good just because, again, it like Pink Noise, it was trying to, squeeze in a little bit of H content, and a little bit of weird, monsters with tentacles, if you will. Throw that in there just for extra flavor. But again, everything else about it's pretty weak. I mean, the character design was acceptable in this one. The action definitely was good. Because I said, as long as you can have, follow the 3 Gs, the girls, guns, and gore. If you can cover as many of those as 2 out of 3, you pretty well got it, right? So, so for that reason, I'll slot that in. And the last one on this section is going to be the Dirty Pair Nolandia Affair. And again, we already have Dirty Pair Project Eden added onto the movie list, so I'll combine Nolandia and Eden into that pile, and then that means I'll slide in the next one. The next one out of this list I will slide in will be Digital Devil Story, or Megami Tensei. Again, this one was popular because of the video games. Even in the early stages, of the video gaming world, Namcot and that kind of stuff, they made, basically, this kind of weird sort of, supernatural kind of game. At first, it was more of an RPG type of thing, and they fleshed it out more. I think, we got the release of the game on the PlayStation 2, so a lot of gaming aspects came into this, the promotional aspect came in with this one. So for that reason, I will put Digital Devil Story / Megami Tensei onto this list. Again, don't know if it's going to survive 88 and 89, but for now, that should go on the list. Okay, so look at the last couple titles that are left. I'm going to say that there's only going to be 2 more titles that I think are worthy enough to hit the list here. And because the reason is because there's only 2 titles left that I could take out. I'm going to take out Fandora, and I'm going to take out the Orange Road Jump Special, because obviously Orange Road's already in the TV series section, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'll just add that to the OAVs there. But Fandora, I mean, again, in the era of girls with swords and that kind of stuff, this anime probably would have been okay. I mean, it's like a 3 OAV set that they made, and it was alright. First one was probably the best one of them all, but again, it lacked translation. I know there was an English dub, sort of really well. It was relatively early still. That did get traded around. But I'm going to take that one out because there's 2 titles that I think are up the list are still significant, and I'm going to say that it's going to be Salamander and Lilycat. Now, Salamander obviously is, again, might be a little bit of a homer choice, but of the ones that I have, that's probably the most significant one. Because again, it's Mikimoto artwork. So again, I guess the same guy does Macross and that kind of stuff. Salamander is a very popular shooting game, shooter arcade game, and that one was very useful in that fact that they actually made an anime for that. Some some of the gamers and that kind of stuff wanted to get copies of that particular one. So for that reason, I'll put it in there. That's not to say that it's going to last through 88 and 89, but I think right now that of the titles I've got, that probably will last. And the other one is just a slide-in, and the one that's of all the things that are left that are slide-ins are going to be Lilycat again, because it has a US release and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of goes in there. People look kind of like that space horror type of stuff going on. So for that reason, I'll slide that again. Not particularly great otherwise, like no other really, redeeming features for that particular thing. So, for that reason, again, I don't think it might last 88 through 89, but, again, I'll put that in there, all right? So those are the two sort of major changes that I made to the list. Everything else will probably receive some sort of, kind of good mention, I guess, of the ones that are left. But the reason why, I'd like to, eliminate one or the other is that they either will lacking some sort of translation, which really helps make it go to the next sort of plateau, past just being fan favorites. Some of them we did do translation. So for example, I know animes like Toei. Again, very very simple plot. Animes about bands and that kind of stuff is real kind of rare. But because it had a little bit of a cat girl thing going on in there, and the music was actually very good. The music from Gonti was really nice on that one. So, but I don't think it's gonna make the list anyway. And even if it did, it probably wouldn't last the next iteration for the next year. So, I'm just going to make a mention of that one. I want to make a mention of Good Morning Althea, and again, I like that one because and we did fan subs for this one, so I knew that there is some distribution on that one. But again, just it was it's your space stasis story with a clantily clad female. So the concept was right there. But again, the characters I was really good. I liked like they promoted it a lot for sure. But the problem is again, I don't think it really caught on. So that's that's why that one I think. Again, even if I added it on the list, it probably wouldn't last. And the next other one that I probably want to make a good mention for is probably 80'S. Again, that's another favorite of mine. We did fan sub that, but so girls and mechs and stuff like that. Okay, great. It's kind of a thing. But again, when you place it against other shows like Gal Force and Bubblegum Crisis, this is not in the same league. So. I can understand why it shouldn't be on the list, but again, I'll make a mention for that one, for sure. So those are the titles that are on there. Everything else, things like Junk Boy, again, the way that's laid out, it's like a Golden Boy, and again, it's probably a little bit too early for this OEVA to take off. Later on when Golden Boy came out. That was really popular, so same kind of concept, and I think the way that the Golden Boy was cleaner animation and that kind of stuff, better drawings on the female characters. that's why that one probably succeeded. So I can see why we would not use Junk Boy. I already mentioned the Body Jack and Hikaru on, so those are both parts of the Pink Noise. We've eliminated at the beginning of the episode Pink Noise number 1, which is Call Me Tonight. So for the same reason, I'll eliminate those ones. The other really interesting ones that I kind of were interesting was like the Dragon War Chronicles and the Steel Demon. Again, like Battle Royale High School and Wicked City and those type of shows. They're trying to get into that kind of edgy sort of market and that kind of stuff, but not go over the line too much. I mean, Dragon Ball Chronicles is neat, was just because the whole concept of the interfacing between modern time and dragons and that kind of stuff. It was really kind of neat. And Steel Demons again, like Guyver and that kind of stuff. It was really that sort of feel and that kind of story. But again, just because of the time that it came out, and the fact that no one really worked on it during that in course, even if I put it on the list again, probably won't survive the next 2 years of iteration. So I'm just going to just leave that one off the list. And that leaves the last two titles, which is Hell Target and Elf 17. Just again, another one of these space horrors, and then again, kind of a lighthearted, elf fairy show. But again, suffers from the same thing. Just without anybody really doing the fan sub distributions or anything of them, they just never spread around. Other than just the avid anime fan who's willing to watch it in straight Japanese for the longest time. But the name was significant enough. But again, even if I put it on the list, it probably won't survive the next iteration. So I'll just leave those off the list again. So we just make a mention of those ones. Okay. And that should take care of the OAVs for 1987. Okay. That was a bit tricky. The list definitely did change a bit. And, we're going to have to see what happens when we hit 1988. Because I think we still do... there isn't, 51 OAVs like there was in this thing. I think there's about 30 or so for 1988. So that's still, stand to make a good shuffling of stuff here on the list here, and we'll see what happens when we go on to do that one. All right, so we're getting further and further on this, and again, we're gonna have to continue this on the next episode. The competition is going to get pretty intense, and it's going to get tougher and tougher to decide what stays and what goes. So again, I hope you will join me in the next episode. Don't forget to click like and click subscribe, and make sure that your notifications are on, because then when I release that episode, then you'll know when to watch it and continue on with this series. All right? So, until next time, I will see you again.